Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet. Let me see. Okay, I just had a weird thing come up here. So glad to see you guys out there today. This is really weird because the thing is broadcasting opposite world from what I'm used to seeing. Um, where is it? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, looks like we are not. Hold on a second, guys. I need to fix something. They have changed something in the studio. Uh, Hold on one second. Can I do this? Hold on. There we go. All right. I had to change the setting. That did not come up again the second week in a row. It didn't come up um, because it was set for unlisted. So only you guys who saw the link, which I actually didn't post. I guess you got that from the YouTube community section. So that's the only way you could get in. Um, Let me make sure my admin person is in here. Sorry about the mix-up, guys. Whenever the software designers change things, it gets really confusing. Let me go ahead and do this. All right. And that, so I can get my administrator in. All right. I feel like I need to start all over again. Hold on, guys. All right. Okay. Well, that I guess that's my bad again this week. So apologize for that. Welcome all you guys who are finally seeing this. It was just a silly setting that didn't show up when I set this thing up. I have to go in and look for it. Hannah says, "Is this a new way of watching these now?" I don't know. Is it backwards to you, Hannah? Because I didn't do anything differently. So anyway, tell me what you're seeing. It looks opposite to me. It looks like the field of vision is flipped. But anyway, so let's just go ahead and get on. Let's try this again. Take two. Boop. Hi everybody, this is Bonnie Barker, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. That was a little too much fun to start with, but so glad that you guys are here with me. I have lots of show and tell today. In fact, as I think I'm a little discombobulated here, as I was getting ready to go on, I actually finished up a baby blanket to show you. Been really wanting to get this one off the needles, not the hooks, but the needles. And I was able to do that. I still have strings hanging, but I thought that would still be okay. You guys like strings, right? So anyway, I wanted to say hey to everybody. Hi, Angie. Thank you for being so patient and waiting. And Deborah from Southwest Louisiana, where it's sunny and warm. She says it's almost hot, actually. God bless you all. God bless you, Deborah. I appreciate you being here. And Miss Wanda, thank you for joining us today. So glad to see you in the chat. I missed you last week, so thank you for joining us. And whenever I say that, no pressure, guys. I know you guys have tons of things that you can do. Um, Hannah's still not able to get in. What in the world is going on? Give me a minute, guys. I gotta get Hannah in here. Well, let me see. All right, I'm gonna do that and that and okay, hold on one second. All right, she should be able to get in on that. All right, we're getting our administrator, our as I say lovingly, our bouncer is coming to join us in just a second. All right. And we have Ola Joe. Good to have you in our chat. Happy Friday to you too. And yeah, Deborah says, sitting outside knitting like Bonnie taught me. I love it. And watching the new baby chicks that old mother hen hatched out last week. They're adorable. Aw, I bet they are. I love seeing little chicks. And wow. And Lynn, good to see you, my friend from Chicago. And Karen and Diane from New Jersey. And thank you, Wanda, for the lots of grace. I think I'm using up somebody else's portion of it at this point in my life, but God still seems to have plenty in abundance. So I still keep dipping into it. And I think I saw Shatika in the chat. Terry Redmond, thank you for being here. Antonia and Joanne, good morning to you all. Um, oh, wow. Uh, wow. Um, I'm looking at Hannah's text here. Okay, sorry about that, Hannah. Yeah, I gave you the wrong number there. Um, Sorry about that. I was jumping back and forth between Safari and Google. So in Google Chrome. So that's what I was doing, just opening another search bar there so I can get you that other link. All right. So you have Terry Redmond. Good morning to you, ma'am. From rainy San Diego. She says it'll be raining for the next 7 days. I thought it never rained in Southern California, but apparently it pours. I know that was bad. Anyway, and Susie from the Netherlands, and thank you, Wanda, for the reminder of the thumbs up. If you guys can do that, that would be great. It might help the algorithm to go a little bit further. And Cynthia Burke, good morning to you, or afternoon. And Amanda from a pretty windy Scotland. Wow. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, I was actually just watching a movie, I think an old movie last night. I think it was part of it was filmed in Scotland. It was called The Saint. You ever see the old series The Saint with Roger Moore? A lot of them were filmed over in Scotland, England, and I think Wales. The one we saw one too that was filmed over there in your part of the world in Wales. So good to hear from you all. I would love to go to your beautiful country someday. I've only been as far as London and some surrounding areas, have not been able to venture northward towards Scotland, but I do want to do that. And yeah, thank you, Ola Jo. She says it's showing you live now. Yeah. Yeah, that was probably my bad somehow. Usually is. And Kelly Hart says, sorry I'm late. I thought it was Thursday today. Whew. Yeah, Kelly, this week has just flown by. And Linda, Brett's mom, says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and all my dear Yarnies from cloudy Southwest Chicago suburbs. Well, welcome, welcome. Oh, thank you, Alana. You're so sweet. And Candace from Florida, my hometown, my place where I was born and raised. I love to hear from how Florida's doing. And Archer Nays, good to see you in the chat. Terry, I hope you're doing well. And Kelly says I'm crocheting Valentine gift bags and filling them with chocolate from my family. That is so sweet of you, Kelly. And Barbie is in the chat. Morning. The past week has been chunky 3D flower blocks for rugs. Wow. My annual event to empty out the scrap boxes. Send me some pictures, guys, when you do these things. I love to see what you're up to. I would love to see those flowers, especially since that's not something that I normally crochet. So bonniebay@me.com, just send it to me. I would love to see. And if you want to give me permission to share, that would be great. And that way I can just, I can share them on Facebook and Instagram. I just like to share, what people are doing because you guys are so creative. Um, yeah, Cynthia, about saying that about Hannah. Yes, she is an important part of my team. You're not kidding. She certainly is. And she's just such a Hannah is such a gift to us here. Um let's see. And Archer Renee says it's cool and cloudy in Cleveland. That's very alliterative. Say that 3 times fast. Cool and cloudy in Cleveland. Hey, Jeannie's good to see you in the chat. We need to connect. I hadn't forgotten about you. Just had to get through that last blizzard. And we have Connie in the chat. She says, sorry I'm late, on vacation in Fort Lauderdale. Oh my goodness, I know exactly where that is. So good to have you in the chat, Connie. And is it, I cannot pronounce this, Sujita from the UK. I hope I didn't hurt that name too much. I'm sure it's a beautiful name. So glad you could join us from the UK. And Barbara, good to see you. And Joanne, she says, I'm not computer savvy. LOL. I would not know how to do this. Yeah, they've been able to teach an old dog new tricks. Let's just say that over the last 20 years or more. Heck, guys, I remember working in an office the first time that the fax machines came on the scene. In case any of you guys remember that, this would have been about 1986, 85, 86. And just the idea of sending information over the phone wires at that point was like miraculous. So we were quite taken by that. And before 1988, I was working on computers, sort of, but never envisioned myself doing that before then. But then, gradually it just grew and grew and grew. And pretty soon I was making a living doing it. Um, Never intended to do that with computers, but here I am. I spend most of my days, most of you envision me sitting at home just crocheting all day long. I wish. It's mostly working on the computer, doing writing, doing social media, doing video work, doing video editing. It's a lot of computer work these days. And you do learn, but they're always changing things, so you're always having to keep on that learning curve. It just is not ending, which is a good thing, I guess. Um, hmm, let's see. Ekstrom, if I'm saying that right, says hello, hello there, and thank you, Mary, for your kind comment. You are so sweet. Um, and Kelly says, I can't wait to see what you have for us. Yeah, it's some review, but I do have some interesting things to show you. Um, Ola Joe, you're so kind. Greeting everybody. Thank you. And Nico, Ohio gozaimasu? No, I don't know if that's okay. I'm assuming wrong again. I think I'm wrong on there on using the Japanese, but Nico, welcome. I used to have a Japanese friend named Nico, so forgive me if I guessed wrong on the nationality there. And Christine, so good to have you, and Natalia, and is it Sujita says waiting crochet sofa back cover. Okay. And Lulu's Treasure Trove, happy Friday to you. So glad that you could join us. Well, let me go ahead and give you some show and tell just a little bit. Oh, it's Groundhog's Day, guys. Happy Groundhog's Day and whatever you do with that. Um, don't know if you have any family traditions for our family. It's kind of silly, but we like to watch the Groundhog Day movie with Bill Murray. It's probably one of the few of his movies that's actually quite family safe. So we really enjoy that. It's such a great story. Well, let me go ahead and show you what is coming on Monday. Okay, the so I guess it really doesn't matter which end is which, but this is the wheat. No, this is a wheat cable down the middle, but this is called Aaron Appeal. And this is the baby blanket that's coming out. You can use any yarn. I just used some yarn that I found at not Michael's, at Joann's. It was on sale, and I gave it a try, and it worked. So this is a lot of fun. I'm trying to. Everything is opposite on this screen for me today, so it's kind of weird. If I go right, it goes left. If I go left, it goes right. So anyway, and this pattern is only in this booklet, Cabled Baby Blankets. And yeah, this is an old Leisure Arts blanket book of baby blankets, and it has 3 additional blankets in here as well. They're all cable crochet, but I think very doable. This one crocheted up for me in about 2 days, and that was not working really hard on it. Give it a week, you could probably get it done, just off and on. The leaflet sells for $4.99. Yeah, $4.99 at Leisure Arts. I do have a link in the video description if you're interested in the written pattern. And they do have the actual books in if you're looking for the PDF download. But when you buy this, you're getting 4 patterns, not one. And the PDF, I think, is $3.99, and that's immediate. But they do have leaflets. And if you're like me and you like leaflets, get the leaflet. Um, if I buy things and put them in my computer and don't do anything else with them, I totally forget about them. I'm always, you can see all the books behind me right over here. And I've got a whole nother bookshelf you can't even see in here. And I actually got a bookshelf in my powder room, where I have material to read at all times regarding crochet. So, or knit or just whatever. And just looking at the pictures, even if I don't read the patterns of a lot of these books, they just inspire me to look at the pictures to see what the possibilities are and how can this be remade in a different way. So that's really, a lot of creative juice, where a lot of my creative juices come from. Okie dokie. Um, we have Janelle in our chat. I'm going to get back to the chat a little bit here. And Beth, good morning to you, Beth. I hope you all and your kitties are doing well. Um, and Nico says, sorry, I hadn't been here for a while. Have been twice in the hospital the last 2 weeks. My, okay. Norovirus. I know norovirus. I got that when I was in Mexico years ago. That is not fun. And myo Okay, I know that's a heart thing. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. But yeah, I am so sorry. I hope they were able to get that uh, better for you. Oh my goodness, that's so serious. Um, Lulu's Treasure Trove says Thumby's 21 today. Is that a person or a pet? I don't know. Thumbies? I'm not sure what that is, Denise, but yeah, let me know. And Joanne says she's in Colorado, overcast today. Oh boy. Yeah, it's very overcast here. We haven't seen the sun in a couple days, probably won't for a while. That's the one thing about winter that is hard for this born and raised Florida girl, is just not seeing that sunshine is a challenge. That's all I'll say about it. I'm not going to fuss, because it makes me appreciate the sun that much more when I do see it. And let's see. And I see your comments here, Hannah. Oh, thank you, Judith. Who says good morning. I'm thrilled to see you. So glad you could be here, Judith. So glad. And I'm glad you're getting better, Nico. Wow. And Hannah, thank you for doing what you're doing here, sweetheart. And we have Kathleen from Northern California. We just had a 5.0 earthquake. Not a good way to get the morning started. I did not know that. Oh my goodness, Kathleen. That's a big one. We've had a couple here over the years, but not nearly the frequency that you all get out there in California. But man, the first time I was up and awake and the whole house shook from an earthquake. First time experiencing that. I mean, we all just looked at each other. And at first I thought it was I'm gonna think this is funny. We were in the living room, and sometimes the boys, when they were younger, they would jump from the top bunk of their bed and jump onto the floor, and it would make the whole living room shake a little bit. And and as soon as I started to see the windows in our living room actually move. And I thought, darn it, Joseph, will you stop jumping out of that top bunk? And then I looked across the room and Joseph was in the living room with us. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It took about, I don't know, about 3 seconds to process what was happening. And we just all ran out of the house immediately. And I remember we left my mom sitting in her chair because we just didn't have time to respond. We just ran out of the house. And by the time we ran to the porch, it had stopped. It was that fast. And it didn't do any damage to our house, thankfully, but that was the one that actually damaged the cathedral in Washington, D.C. And they're still working on repairs from that event. But I am glad you're okay, Kathleen. I hope that wasn't. I need to call my friend who lives out that way and make sure she's okay. Although she's more west of Southern California. Whew. Um, oh my goodness. Heather, goodness, that is very generous of you, my dear. Thank you so much for that donation. Let me write this in my listing here. I will forget that for sure. Uh, all right. Let me hold on. Okay, thank you so much, Kathleen, for that extreme generosity. We are up to $70 now. So For those of you who are new to the channel, what we do is when we reach $100 or more, we will send that to one of two organizations that I like to support regularly. One is Shriners Hospital for Children, and the other is Rancho 3M. So I believe, let me see, where's the next one? I think we just sent something into Shriners. Okay, so the next donation will be going to Rancho 3M in outside of Juarez, Mexico, a place that one of my children and I have been to and have worked on the compound there years ago. I wanted to show you a little something we got from Shriners. Now that Heather is so generous, we got a letter in the mail from Shriners. It was, in a mailing thing, and we kind of made a special list last year, um, just of special, I guess, of special donors. I don't know if there's a certain amount you have to go over to get, special. We have a little window sticker. It's, of course, that's backwards, just just for having supported them. And if you ever see me driving around town, I've got a little thing that goes around my license plate on the front of my car. That's a Shriners thing for having, because you guys have pushed us over a particular limit. I don't remember how much. I don't know how much. I haven't looked at the forms yet for taxes on how much was donated, but it was a good amount. It was probably several $100s from our channel. So thank you so much for helping me to be able to do that. And it's all as a team for sure. So thank you so much, Heather. And let's see. Mm, mm, mm. And we have Lulu's Treasure Trove. That is such a cool name. Um, we have Lisa says, "Hi, Bonnie. Started the Dreams of Inisheer scarf with worsted weight. Fun to try. New double cable stitch." I would love to see that, Lisa. I think that's going to be a really cool. Probably be on the lines of like a super scarf or a shawl. I would love to see that in the larger cabling. And I'm hoping to use some of these cables in an upcoming throw as well. I'm still working on the design. It's rattling around up there somewhere. But speaking of creativity, I did go by. I had lunch with a dear friend on Monday and in Colombia. And so, of course, when I was in Colombia, I had to stop by So Original. So I got some yarn, and I'm thinking a scarf for the future. I'd like to release this sooner than later, but it'll probably be something that I'll hold on to until the fall, just because I know people want to work with lighter colors in the spring. But I can wear these colors all year round. But I'm going to put these together. And again, this is not budget yarn. This is not cheap yarn. This is Noro yarn. Let me tell you the name of this. I think it's called, okay, this is called Nishiki. It's a 77% cotton, 23% polyamide, and it feels absolutely amazing. And then the green, which is also Noro, this is called Noro Sonata, which is 35% cotton, 25% viscose, 20% silk, and 20% polyamide. I just thought that would be a really nice contrast. And even though the sizing is slightly different, I was going to do something special with this. So anyway, that's something that you're going to be seeing in the distant future. So yeah. So this coming week, for those of you who are watch subscribers or want to be a watch subscriber, I know I feel like I'm pushing that, huh? Well, it's just a good way that I have found that I can connect with people. And I'm going to be teaching a Zoom class on the introduction to post cables. That's this coming week or next week, February 6th. you have 2 days to choose from. It's just a 1 2 hour it's a 2 hour class. It's not There's not going to be a follow-up class because quite frankly, I have hundreds of videos that can help you follow up with a lot of the things that we're going to talk about. February 6th, which is a Tuesday, I'll be teaching it from 2 to 4 p.m. This is Eastern time. These are all Eastern times. And then again on Thursday, February 8th, from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Okay. And again, these are complimentary for those of you who are a watch subscriber. Then on February 20th, this is a Tuesday from 2 to 4 p.m. I'm going to be teaching a class called All About Yarn. And that may be a little misleading. You're not going to learn everything about yarn because I don't think there's a book big enough to contain it, quite honestly. But we're going to touch on some of the main uh, different things to look at regarding yarn. I have a lot of different kinds of yarn I want to show you during the class, including some made out of milk protein, if you've ever heard of such a thing. So I have milk protein, I have some with yak, I have some with llama, of course, alpaca. I'm wearing alpaca, one of my favorite. We're going to talk about what makes the natural fibers different than the man-made fibers such as acrylic, polyester, nylon, etc. Why do we blend them together sometimes, like the ones that I just showed you? Why do we blend them together, and what's the advantage or disadvantage of that? We're going to just talk about all sorts of things, and it's going to be one of these bring your questions to the class so that we can just banter back and forth. Okay. And I am going to do my very best to record these classes so that if you are a watch subscriber and you miss or not able to join us at the time that the Zoom class happens, this is both for the cable classes and for the All About Yarn classes. I am going to do my very best to record these and add them to the channel so that you can watch them later. Okay. Um, yeah. So, I meant to bring something in here, but I forgot. I'm working on, where is it? Right here. I am working on a remake of the Lavina poncho. Actually, I never, this book was published before YouTube was what it is now. I'll just say that. And so when this was released, there were no videos, and the idea of putting a DVD in the back of this was prohibitively expensive. So I always ask those things going into it because I know visuals are very important. But anyway, all that to say, I am working on the video to the Lavina poncho, and I hope to have that rolled out in the next within the month, I hope. I still have to finish making it and edit the video, but I'm hoping to get this out sooner than later. And I'll keep you posted about that. And oh, I meant to tell you, officially this year, this book is 10 years old. I'm like, whoa, it's like one of those, you meet somebody that you hadn't seen since, high school, and you're like, wow, that was like 40 years ago. I mean, can you believe we're using words like that in our lifetime? I always heard old people talk like that, but I never thought it would be me, but it is now. But anyway, this book has been around 10 years now. So, and I'm just so grateful that it's still in print. And I do have some designs on my YouTube channel that are to that book, and as well as this, let me see, the Orlaith robe sweater. This sweater with corrections even is on my channel. There is one correction to the video that I need to make though, and that is when I wrote this book, which was 8-9 years ago, I was using only double front post double crochet to make these cables, and that's how I wrote this pattern. When I defaulted to making the video, I didn't even read my own book, and I went to front post trebles, which has caused a lot of confusion. The bottom line is either works, but if you're going to do this, just do the front post double crochets on those cable crossings for the wheat stitch, and I think the sweater will, I mean, either one will work. And I did one sweater with one and one sweater with the other, and they both came out fine. But I just hate that in an effort to correct something, I made a mistake. So I just can't shake this being human thing. Um, I know I will one day, but then I won't be here to tell you about it when it happens because I'll be with the Lord and uh, won't be here to say, "Hey, I'm perfect now, guys. No more mistakes." But until then, you're going to have to put up with that. And I do have an errata page, ERRATA, which is another word for mistakes. And what you do is just do a Google search, put Celtic cable crochet, and then errata in there somewhere, and the page will come up. It is on my website. Okay, it's in my blog somewhere. But if you ever need those links, just email me. I can email it right back to you. Okay. And one other thing about the watch channel, it has officially gone up. It is now $7.95 a month or 79.50 per year for the subscription. Of course, the yearly is a little bit cheaper, and you do get complimentary patterns when I release new designs. You get those, and plus, you can always look at any of the other existing designs, of which there are so many on there that do have the PDF, so you don't have to go out and invest anywhere anywhere else on my sites for anything. You have it right there, ad free, spam free. Um, no pop-ups, no interruptions when you do the video watching there. Um, and if you're an existing subscriber and you subscribed to my channel at a lower price, your price will not change. It's not going up to $7.95. It's staying at whatever you subscribed at, as long as you're a subscriber. So we're trying to be true to our word there, and I hope that we don't have to do any more price hikes anytime soon. I'm hoping that the dollar kind of levels out, or at least retains its current value, and that the government stops printing money so that we don't have to keep spending more. So anyway, I apologize for don't want to get too down on any of that stuff. And let me show you really quickly. I have two strands to hide on this, but I finished the baby blanket. Isn't that pretty? Look at the yarn. The yarn did all the work, and I do have my strands here. So it started out dark, and then it's worked, corner to corner. And I need to work. I may redo the ending here. I'm not crazy about the way that came out, but so you can see, and this is extremely, extremely soft. And I even had some yarn left over, and it just took one of these. This is the Caron Colorama Halo Perfect Phasing. And I just love the way the color was true to my design. You know how you buy some color changing yarns, and then there's a knot in the middle that you can't see, and then it just throws the entire colorway off? I cannot tell. I won't mention brands, but they're popular brands that have done that to me. And you end up having to buy like extra yarn just because of their mistakes with the knots in the warehouse. I didn't have that problem with this. I'm not saying you won't have a problem with this brand ever, but you can just tell. I just like that I can tell the way the colors are going to change. And I just love this so much. Um, I may even try a crochet blanket. I mean, just look at where the color transitions. It's just like a sunrise. Isn't that cool? So yeah, fun. And this is an easy beginner knit project. Okay, it is an easy beginner knit project. Even though this yarn is not wool, I like beginning knitters always try to start with wool because it's more flexible. This is not wool. It's a polyester. Let me look. Okay, there it is. The 71% acrylic, 18% nylon, 11% polyester. So it's all man-made materials. But it knit up very well for this knitter, and I'm not super fast. So this knit up really, really well. And the reason this is Bonnie Bay Crochet, and yeah, we are talking about knit because I recently taught, for those of you who don't know, I recently taught a Zoom class for my watch subscribers, And many of them, I think, learned to knit. And I think for the first time, or for the first time in a long time. And it's not that hard. And that's the thing about knitting, because for years, and I'm one who, for like the first, I don't know, 45, 50 years of my life, I'm just like, I've tried it, I couldn't get it. And really what it came down to is I didn't have someone to show me how to do it properly. That was my first mistake. Secondly, I was using junk needles. And thirdly, I was using junk yarn. So what I like to do is start people off with the good stuff. Okay. I like to use, let me, do I have my, hold on, I'm get my needles here. Okay. This is a big circular, but I like to use circular knitting needles. And I like the wood. And these happen to be interchangeable, which means they can screw off and on, and you can change to different sizes here. These feel like a crochet hook in my hand, not like something foreign. The yarn hold that I use for my non-dominant hand is the same for continental knitting. And so we taught them that. And just to let you know, if you're a YouTube, you like just to stay on YouTube, don't worry, don't want to join the wash. It's not a problem at all. I have beginning knit videos on my YouTube channel. And let me show, I dug up some of the things that you can make. You can make, for example, you can make a hat. And this is with self-striping yarn. I don't even know if this yarn is available anymore. And I just added a pom-pom, of course. But the only thing you need to do with this hat is you're learning knit and you're learning purl for the ribbing. And then this is just knit, knit, knit in the round. And when you see these lines appear, those are just decreases. And I have that in the instructions. And here is, this is fun to wear. Let me go ahead and put this on for you. I'll put the tag in the back. Okay, this is a lot of fun. This is a nice, big, fluffy cowl. And again, this is just using the Caron self-striping. Again, don't know if it's around anymore, but it matches the hat. If you want to, if you're thin enough, you want to pull this over your shoulders, it can be a shoulder wrap. But I just like to have the nice big, nice warm cowl can go right underneath your jacket or your coat. And anyway, this works up just working in the round. And you can probably, if you're even looking at my stitches, you can tell that was not a real mature knitter when I made this, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just, these are just fun, and it's a great way to learn. And this is, this was made with a bulky weight yarn, I believe a number 5 weight yarn. So, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. Do I have any other things to show you? That might be it. Oh, I do have one more thing. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right. Whew. Needed the exercise. Here is the, hold on a second. I'm going to get Hannah's questions. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Nico is actually German. I am so sorry, Nico. Their nickname is Japanese. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, Hannah. I'll try to remember that. Oh, and the Caron yarn, Colorama Halo, perfect phasing, and it's you'll see the different colors, and they have a lot of different colors to choose from. Okay. And from Shisha says, could you do a tutorial for a poncho, not pointed front and back, basically half hexagon? I would, actually, if you want to email me, bonniebay@me.com, and just send me a picture of what you mean by that, I'll be glad to, look at it and consider that. But speaking of ponchos, I just went ahead and I did finish the one panel, and I'm doing it in a lighter color. And I really, really, really I really, really, really like this color. I think I like this even better than the dark. I think I'm going to be able to see, um, see the textures better. Don't you think? So, so anyway, so that's halfway. I'm halfway there. I started the other panel, and many of you have been reminding me that I had a red cardigan sweater that I'm working on, and I did finish. I figured out how to do the sleeve. I have a new sleeve technique actually for this sweater that's coming out that I think is going to. I hope I'm not too optimistic about this, but I think it's a sleeve that's going to fit better than sewing in a sleeve cap or where you make sleeves by just going round and around, and then the sleeves kind of like this on the sweater, and then you put your arms down and you've got all this material there. I think it kind of breaches that gap to where I crochet the sleeve cap a little bit on top and then start the under round and round and round. And that way you're not having to sew any sleeves. And also that way, no matter what size you're making, the sleeve cap will be sized accordingly. So it won't be, you won't have trouble. It won't have puff sleeves because the sleeve cap is too big when you sew it in. If you've made a sweater before where you sew the parts together, you know what I'm talking about. So I think this is going to be the best of both worlds. And I did complete one sleeve, and I'm in the process of recording the second sleeve. And I'm hoping to finish it this weekend, and I hope to show you this sweater next week. I am really excited about it. Um, it's made of a fingering weight yarn, and it's using the double twist cable and some other cables. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, thank you, Hannah. Uh, okay, Shaw Shaw. Okay, thank you. I was just reading the words that I was given here. Okay, Shaw Shaw. Thank you so much. Shaw Shaw, if you could just email me, BonnieBay@me.com, and just send me a photo or an idea of what you're talking about with the hexagonal shape, because um, I I need an idea of what you're looking for, and that might spur an idea. I have done some ponchos that are just kind of rounded. Um, but honestly, since I'm a bigger person, I mean, I tend to be, size large and extra large and sometimes larger. Um, I like the points, just to let you know, because I think it tends to be a bit more flattering on the line of the body, because it tends to, draw the eyes downward. Whereas like if you wear a round, like a shawl that's just kind of round in a circle without a point on it, if you or point, as you know what I'm saying. Those look beautiful on some people, but on me, it tends to accentuate the widest part of my body, which is not real flattering on me personally. And yeah, I know, vanity of vanity, all is vanity. But I like to. That's kind of why I tend to more, the paneled type ponchos. And Ola Joe wants to know, is the knit pattern for the hat on the watch channel? Yes, it is. I believe it is. I will double check, but I believe it is. There, you have to on the watch channel. You need to look for the categories. Um, look, just look up the knitting playlist, and it's in the knit list. Um, I'll double check on that. And if you don't see it, let me know. It's definitely on the YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure it's on the Watch channel, and this is on there too. And there are several others to go along with that. It might be easier to do the cowl, because sometimes working in a tight circle when you're closing up the top of the hat can be a bit challenging, and you may need to get either double pointed needles or um, it just gets a little challenging. Once you'll understand what I mean by that, once you try it. Um, oh, great. She says, I'm loving knitting so much. Thank you, by the way, for the class. My pleasure. That it's just fun when you learn something new. You just want to tell others and show others. Okay, the one thing I forgot to show you, and then I'll get back to the live chat. Um, February 12th, which is what, in 10 days. Wow. I am releasing the Easter throw, which is, I'm calling it On a Hill Far Away. And how do I get this into the viewfinder? This is going to be hard. Okay. Okay, so you can see the center part of the cross. I'm going to just stand up and see if I can stand back and show you. And it's surrounded by a lot of different cables, and it's also finished off with a trim of crowns. Okay. So this is coming soon. This is an intermediate, I would say an intermediate. I'm hesitant to say too advanced, but yeah, it's definitely not a beginner project. But if you're familiar with any of these, and let me just tell you how we are doing this. You work the center part with the crosses by working in rows back and forth, back and forth. And then once you finish that, then we begin the rounds. And those of you who've worked either the Celtic mandala throw or the throw of grace know what that's like. And it's worked in rounds. And I do have a chart which is included with the pattern. I do encourage that you purchase the pattern if you're not a watch member, if you're going to do this project, because it will make it far, far easier. I'm including, I tried to be as meticulous as possible. Get everything off the floor here. And it just includes stitch counts for all the rows, stitch counts for the short sides, stitch counts for the long sides of every round. And again, you don't have to stop and count every stitch after every round. I certainly didn't, but there is a certain mathematical pattern to how these stitches increase as you go. Anyway, that is coming. I'm hoping February 12th. I'm just waiting for the pattern to come back from my tech editor. And there is a complete video tutorial, which is 2.5 hours long. So there are a lot of stitches. And don't be put off by the 2.5 hours. That's because I'm teaching all these stitches, and I take that a little on the slow side. But if you understand a lot of these stitches already, then I think it can be very enjoyable. It could be a very meditative thing to do, because it'll be released right before the beginning of Lent. So anyway, and Hannah wants to know what number was the halo yarn. Good question. This is actually listed as a 5. Hannah, thank you. This is listed as a bulky weight yarn, but honestly, it kind of knits like a worsted weight. And again, even though this is a bulky weight yarn, there's quite a range in the yarns in those designs. Okay, Joyce wants to know, where can you get the pattern? If you're asking about the pattern for the throw, that hasn't been released yet, it will be available. I hope to make it available on my Lovecraft store. I may put it in my Etsy store, but the Etsy store is, oh my goodness, it's causing me a lot of work because people are having trouble downloading from that. I don't know. I don't think it's the site as much as it's just awkward on how to download the patterns from Etsy. And I've been spending a lot of time giving customer support to that. So I don't know. I'm thinking I may put it up in my Etsy store regardless. But the Etsy store, the Lovecrafts, if you're a watch subscriber, it'll be a complimentary pattern, so you don't have to purchase anything there. And let me tell you about the yarn. Do I have the yarn? Okay, I do. Hold on a second. This is left here from last week. It shows you how often I clean up my desk. It took me 21 balls of the paint box, Simply Aran. This is I know it's polyester acrylic, 100% acrylic. This is 3.5 ounces, so 201 yards. So let's say 200 times. Okay, so that's about 4,200 yards. So It's about 4,200 ish yards for the project. So if you don't want to do paint box yarn, that's fine. I use this because they're not paying me to say this, but I do have an affiliate link down there. But I recommend the stuff that I like, not the stuff that someone told me to sell. Okay, I don't work for yarn companies. I do like this yarn, but if you're not in a place where you can get this, or if you can find a fantastic sale at Joann's on your favorite uh, yarn that you use to make Afghans. I just assume people use acrylic because otherwise you just about have to put a second mortgage on your house if you're going to make this out of a high-end yarn. So, and plus it's you can wash and dry it in easy care once you get it completed. But use the yarn that you can find. It's a number 4 or worsted or Aran weight yarn. So just use whatever you have. If you whatever you have in the country or the area that you live. There's nothing extra special about this. I mean, I like this. The knots are that has relatively very few knots in this yarn. And I just like the way it wears, better than some of the other yarn that I can get. And I can get a whole bunch of it in the same dye lot at the same time, which is another reason why I order online, instead of climbing up yarn store shelves, looking for that last ball of yarn that will match and have to give up because I can only find 19 and not 21. Yes, I have done that too many times. Um, okay. Jan Reese wants to know, do you have a stitch tutorial for the open cable poncho you're making? Um, I have I have stitch videos. If you go to my playlist, you'll see a playlist that'll just say Celtic cable crochet, and what's in that playlist are the videos for all the stitches in the book. Plus, there are some complete video tutorials for a couple of the designs that are in here as well. So I'll be adding to that. But just to make sure I'm answering your question properly, and in this particular book is a stitch dictionary as well that goes step by step on how to form all the stitches. I just this is I insisted on this with the publisher. It's like, no, we've got to have a stitch dictionary um, so that people can understand how to make these stitches because they're probably not going to know how to do them when they start. I certainly didn't, and I learned some of these, not all of them. Some of them I made up, but or I created, but some of the basic ones that I've learned, like the uh, the cable stitch, for example, the one that runs horizontally. Uh, that was an Annie Oak stitch that I learned in the late 70s from reading a leaflet with pictures. So I just insisted that we had to have that. Um, what hook size did I use for the Easter throw? I used a size I or 9 or 5.50 millimeter crochet hook, Cynthia. Good question. Um, oh, I'm looking at the chat now. It's getting a little bit on the late side. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you, Danish. Is it I bought the poncho pattern? Yeah, I'm not sure which poncho pattern you might be talking. Are you talking about this one or um, I just know the one in the book is only available through the book, but thank you for your support. Um, yeah, if I miss anybody in the chat, I just want to apologize right up front. I got carried away there and wanted to make this kind of interesting, to show you things that I'm working on. But let me go ahead, Miss Vivian. So glad that you could be with us, and thank you, Kathleen Dana. Your comments really kind. I'm so glad. So glad you're learning. That's the goal. I'm a teacher at heart. I went to school to be a music teacher, but nobody would hire me. But anyway, I had ended up with actually ended up with the best job of all, being a homeschool mom with my 5 children, and I got to teach them everything from potty training to algebra. And we still love each other, and we still talk to each other a lot. So I ended up Anyway, all that to say is couldn't get my dream job at the time, but I ended up with a much better job. So God is good regardless. Um, yeah. Oh, thank you, Miss Vivian. She says, I have a friend that would love that cross. I suppose we could do a pillow from the chart to match. You could. Um, I finally can join the chat. I usually have been at work on Fridays. Well, welcome home, my friend. And okay. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. The sapphire alpaca poncho. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's forgive me because there are some pirates online and I just sometimes people are selling things that they don't have rights to. So yeah, the poncho, sapphire alpaca poncho is mine. And I'm looking at I have one on the chair over there. That's a design that I have worn a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot. Um wow, she says it's her 77th birthday and she is going strong. More power to you, honey. Oh, yes. I tell you what, um, I joined the 60s club last year and I love it. I mean, there's no looking back. The older older we get, the less we care about the little hangups, that we used to get all tied in knots about as teens. Boy, if I could go back and redo those years, they would look a lot different. Um, yeah, well, congratulations. I'm so glad. It gives me a lot of hope. My Hannah and I help, caring off and on with for my going to be 95-year-old mother-in-law. She's going to be 95 next month, Lord willing. And I tell you what, um, she's a force to be reckoned with. She there's nothing slouchy about her at all. She loves the Lord and she's a firecracker. You could just ask Hannah. Keeps Hannah quite busy, and just continues to be a blessing to many. And yeah, I don't know that I want to be 95, but yeah, I definitely look forward to the 70s and just hope I can still be going strong at that point. Um, yeah, Cecilia, welcome to our chat. Um, Oh, yay. Heather says she got the yarn for the Easter throw. Can't wait. I hope y'all like this one. Again, coming from a flawed human, every time I make one of these, I try to make them better and better because I'm aware of where I have made mistakes and where it's easy to make mistakes and where it's easy not to be clear in video. So, as each one I make, I'm trying to be just more of a stickler for being very emphatic, and it may be leading to insomnia for some, or just being bored, or put you to it probably will cure insomnia is what I'm thinking of. But I just try to be more deliberate each time, just so that I'm careful not to, to mess this one up in any way, shape, or form. But you never know. There's lots of ways to make a mess. That just continually working at it. And Sabina, thank you for your comment here. Um, she says, I'm totally with you in regards to the poncho. I'm tall and extra large, and a pointed poncho works best for me. Yeah, and yeah, I'm willing to try a hexagonal or whatever the other side. Shasha was suggesting. I definitely am. Yeah, I'm willing to look at something different and something new. It's just the thing that kind of does a circle around my midriff is not the answer for me right now. Probably won't be until I get my glorified body in heaven. So yeah, if I can, find a way to enhance things in the right way, I do it. Um, Becky, I just saw that you're in the chat. Goodness gracious, thank you for joining us. Aw, yeah, she's baby keeping me busy. Yep, babies will do that. I am missing so many comments here. Um, all right, well, it is. Let me just see if there's anybody else. Let me just see if there's anybody else I haven't greeted yet. Uh, we have Jen Reeves. Yeah, okay. Give me a second here. and Oodles and Caboodles of Crafts. That is such a cool name. Well, welcome, Vicky. So glad you could join us today. And yeah, okay. Well, oh, Kathleen's having a birthday. Happy birthday, Kathleen. Um, oh, it is your birthday today. Okay, I just saw that in the chat. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Well, happy birthday, Kathleen. I didn't realize you're celebrating your 77th birthday. I'm a little slow. I didn't realize you're celebrating your birthday with us today. How wonderful. Um, wow, that is so great. Congratulations. That is huge. Um, and Archer Nace wants to know what kind of paint box yarn. This is Simply Aaron. Simply Aaron. Okay. 21 of these. If I were you, I would buy maybe 22, just to have a little bit extra in case your crocheting is a little bit bigger than mine. Um, I do have a gauge, written into the pattern. And as you know, the gauge is not so important on throws and shawls and things like that, except where the yarn content is concerned. You definitely don't want to run out of yarn. Okay, I'm looking down at my phone because I left my Bible in the other room, and I want to read something to you all today before we sign off. I read this just the other day in my I have to tell you a little bit about that too. My Bible reading, I try to do Bible reading, through in a year. And I don't go from January to December 31st. I somewhere along the lines got off on that. So I finish up whenever I finish up, but I do go through a day, try to go through a daily um, thing that a really nice read the Bible through in a year thing. So even if you don't finish it in a year, it really doesn't matter as long as, for me at least, unless I just, it keeps me in the Word. So it gives me some continuity, and it gives me a regular way to cover it from front to back, in the period of about a year. Even if I take a little longer, it's okay. Sometimes you just have to chew on something a little bit longer, and just soak in it a little bit more. Well, I wanted to read this to you. If you've ever gotten the book from me through my Etsy store, you've probably seen Psalm 103 written down there with my signature. This is kind of um, it's not the only verse I love or the only chapter that I love, but it is one of the biggest in my heart, in my mind. It just reminds me of how much I've been forgiven, and I try not to cry thinking about that, but I've been forgiven much, much, much in my life, and even just this morning, just so much grace is needed to get through the day. So I just wanted to read as we sign off. I wanted to read Psalm 103. It's a Psalm of David, and there's just so many great things in this. I'll just gonna just read it here. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgives all your iniquity, who heals all your diseases, who redeems your life from the pit, who crowns you with steadfast love and mercy, who satisfies you with good, so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. The Lord works righteousness and justice for all who are oppressed. He made known his ways to Moses, his acts to the people of Israel. The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. He will not always chide, nor will he keep his anger forever. He does not deal with us according to our sins, nor repay us according to our iniquities. Thank God. For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his steadfast love towards those who fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far does he remove our transgressions from us. As a father shows compassion to his children, so the Lord shows compassion to those who fear him. For he knows our frame, he remembers that we are dust. As for man, his days are like grass. He flourishes like a flower of the field. For the wind passes over it, and it is gone, but its place knows it no more. But the steadfast love of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting on those who fear him, and his righteousness to children's children, to those who keep his covenant and remember to do his commandments. The Lord has established his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom rules over all. Bless the Lord, O you his angels, you mighty ones who do his word, obeying the voice of his word. Bless the Lord, all his hosts, his ministers who do his will. Bless the Lord, all his works in all places of his dominion. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Again, that's Psalm 103, and it's definitely one of my favorites in the entire scriptures. So, well, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I do look forward to maybe seeing you next week. God bless. Bye bye.